Today we're headed out on Buck Ridge. I'm Greg Gardner. I'm here with my brother Jared Gardner. And he's part of our team. So at the end of Buck Ridge here, we've been chasing a story for many years. A guy, that was actually my brother-in-law, was out hunting with a guy that fell into a old mine up in this area. And this area here on the end of Buck Ridge is well known for, it's suspected area of Spanish activity quite a bit. And there's been a lot of people searching here, a lot of claims made in this area. There's some really cool stuff here. There's an ice cave up here, and there's different carvings on the trees. But anyway, we've spent many trips up here looking for that mine that he found, and it's up here. It said it's in a really brushy area because he just stumbled into it and kind of fell into it, but it had some tools in it and wheelbarrow, and he didn't go back in it because he just wasn't really interested in that kind of stuff. He was up here hunting, but we've looked for it, and Tracy, my other brother, and Jared was up here looking for it again about a month ago.
Yeah.
And tell them what you found.
Well, we found what at first looked like an ordinary sinkhole, and we just kind of remarked it. We're about to go on our way, but then I happened to go down to the bottom of the sinkhole, and between the boulders in the bottom there, I could feel cold air coming out. So we dug a bunch of the little boulders out, opened up about a foot wide hole, and there was just air blowing out of there. And we dropped rocks down in there, and they just rolled and rolled and fell for a long, long time. And I poked a flashlight back in there. There's a kind of a ledge, and it just seemed to be empty space behind that ledge. Blackness. It's got to be a pretty decent cave, at least.
Must have another opening somewhere with that air blowing through like that. We're gonna go up and try and see if we can get that hole open, widened up where we can get into it. And we brought rappelling gear and everything, so go check it out. Maybe we've discovered a new cave. But along the way, we're gonna document everything that we can. Let me turn this camera. Just want to show you this right here at the end of the road. What looks like to me is an old Spanish blaze mark on the tree here. There's a single blaze. See how overgrown and old that is. And then here's a Forest Service blaze mark. So you got the small one on top and the long one on the bottom. That's a standard Forest Service blaze mark, and I don't know if you can see, but there's one down the trail there too. So we're gonna see if we can follow this old Spanish blaze mark, see if there's more down there. We have found some other interesting things carved on the trees down there, and we'll see if we go past those today. We'll document them for you. But we're gonna head out on the trail, and we'll catch up with you here in a bit. So as we're going along the trail here, it's like the modern day trail is following the old Spanish trail, because here's a blaze there and a single blaze here. Well, I mean, not the Forest Service with the small blaze and the long blaze. For some reason there's two long blazes here. And two on the other side of the tree. That tree has another one. So typical Spanish trail blazes. There's another one. So there's just all along this trail here. Did see some more modern Spanish, Forest Service blazes too. So if we find anything more interesting, we'll get back on here. So here's a carving from the 1930s. Been several, I think this one is 1930, but it's interesting. I think after the Spanish, later the Mexicans came up here and were mining some of these mines up here, and this was carved. You can see 1930 there, and that bird symbol. Now, according to some of the books, that bird symbol is a pointer, or it could be a pointer, pointing, follow his beak. So it's his beak's kind of pointing down the trail. So maybe we're on the right trail. The fact that it doesn't have legs, that might mean something. Don't know, but thought that was cool. I think it says Juan Trujillo, July 1930. There's some other marks down here I'll show you. That's a cross and some other symbols, but I'll show you when I get there. So here's that cross I was talking about. Can't make out what these symbols are below the cross, but that cross, you see, it's pretty old. You see, as a tree grows, it doesn't grow taller this way. It grows from the top of the tree up, so it's not going to spread out this way, but as the tree grows, it gets bigger and bigger around, so this vertical split will split. And depending on how fast the tree grows, that depends how wide that split will get. But so it's hard to say how old that is, but I would say it's pretty old. These symbols down here below might mean, a shaft, or the one on the left could be some kind of a turtle or some kind of an animal symbol. I don't know. I've never been able to figure out what these are, but they're interesting on the trail here. All right, here I am at the ice cave. It's right back there. I'll turn this camera around and show you a better view of what we're looking at here. So it's just below a cliff face here. Some old Quakies going up in the middle. See if we can see what some of these say. Oh, that one's about gone. L something and 1935. WO. Looks like Oren Guard. Probably Gardner. Oren Gardner. And there's a date there. It's too hard to make out in this old Quakey. There's a WW. Looks like that might have been a Z or a something 1920. These letters are so old, it's hard to make out. There's a 217921 OWR. Looks like they carved that looked like a bear paw. There's a Jane R something. Pretty neat old trees. 1921. Ray. AUJIO. Maybe. I don't know. They're so old. They're just. This tree's dead. So quaky. Anyway, let's go down and take a look here at this cave. Oh, looks like a elk thinks this is a nice little place to lay.
Where are you?
Okay. Head down into the cave. Opening's kind of thin and narrow. Once you get down in here, I can stand up. You see that ice stalactite hanging down there. And it is noticeably cooler in here. Looks like there's some sort of man-made object hanging from the ceiling here. It is an old flashlight somebody's left behind. Hold on, my brother's hollering at me on the radio. All right, I'm back. You can see that is solid ice. I wouldn't want to slide down off of there. I'd probably never get back. I might be able to go over there in that corner there and crawl up those rocks, but wouldn't be a fun ride down. There's the cool icicle hanging off the cave ceiling. There it is. It's the end of July 24th. No, I think it's the 27th. Actually, and still loads of ice in here. Another little icicle hanging down there. Well, other than that flashlight, I've never seen anything that indicated there's been any kind of use of this cave by humans. It'd be a perfect place for a Spaniard to store his meat and stuff, keep it cool all summer long while they're working in their mines. But I've never seen anything around other than those trees out front that indicates that they were ever here. Big old chunk of ice. Must have fallen out of there. Oh well. Goes up in there a ways. Pretty fun little spot. I don't think it's got anything to do with the Spanish, but interesting, fun little cave nonetheless. Looks like it goes back in there a little ways. Pack rats have been in here. Got them a big old nest right there. Anyway, we're gonna head out of this cave and go explore. See if we can get to the other cave and get it open. I'll catch you here in a bit. Well, after a long hike over the mountain, we got to the spot. And, you know, it really fits the description of the mine that guy found. As he said, he busted through some brush, and then he came into the mine. This doesn't look a lot like a mine, but it looks like what he described. So let me turn this camera around, I'll show you. See, there's a lot of brush all the way around this. I'm down in a hole here. A lot of brush all the way around this. And then there's a hole. There's a cave or a mine. Looks like it was bigger at one time. This rock fell down, right, covered it up. We're gonna try and dig that out and see if we can squeeze down in there, get a better look. The guy did say that there was a wheelbarrow and some tools in here when he found it. We don't see any evidence of that, and it really doesn't look like a mine dump. We got all our gear laid all over here, but this would have been the dump. And I don't really see anything that, it doesn't look like a dump. Not a lot of stuff here. It is a big dump, but we're gonna get down in there anyway. Open that up and see if we can get down in there and see what it looks like, because you throw a rock down there and it rolls for a long ways. So we'll
keep in mind when we originally got here, all these little boulders and dirt was piled up there. You couldn't see a hole right there at all.
Oh, so you dug all that out?
Dug it all out. Just feel some air coming out from between the cracks down there.
All right, well, we're gonna open it up, and when we get in there, we'll do some more videoing. shovel. Well, there's the hole after we got done chipping away a bunch of the rock. Just barely big enough to get in and out of there. Okay, I got in through this little hole, and you're exploring it with me for the first time. It looks like it's just a narrow slit here, and then it goes down at about a 45-degree angle.
Heads up, heads up.
And threw a rope in just to help me get out of here, because this is about a 45 and it's slippery dirt in the bottom. But you got some pack rats have been in here, and just a big narrow crack, but it does open up once we get down there. So I'm gonna descend on down, and once I get down, I'll turn the camera back on. Okay, here we are, descending down. I swear I'm the first human being ever in this cave. I'm gonna get back up and grab that rope and follow it back behind me just in case I need it to pull up here, so hold on. Okay, here we go. Down into the depths. Get my rope. So far, it's just a big crack. And it looks like all it might be. Just a big crack. Steep slope going down here. So that's where I come down. Got a few little stalactites on this. You see some more up in there. I can zoom in. See some hanging there. Stalactites hanging off this limestone ceiling. I can hear you. So I got down to a point I can stand up. Okay, so far it's just one big crack, but it's getting wider as you go down. And looks like there might be something at the bottom, but I haven't got to the bottom yet. It's a steep, slippery slope hanging onto this rope. Wish I had a better way to hold on to this light and the camera at the same time. I might just turn this off till I get to the bottom. Show you what I see so far. So that's where I came from. You see my rope up there. There's some more stalactites hanging down. Nothing too pretty, nothing too exciting. There's some flowstone on the ceiling there. So let me get down this slope to the bottom and I'll turn the camera back on. Well, I've almost got to the bottom. There's the bottom right there. But just wanted to show you this cool flowstone here. It's pretty neat, not real colorful, but it's kind of cool looking. It's all along there, but that's the biggest one. So, oh, slippery. Going back up, looking back up where I came from, way up there. So it's opened up quite a bit, probably 15 feet tall. It's interesting, there's some pieces of wood down here, like there's one right there. And this limestone's all dark colored. I'm going to head down to the bottom here and see if there's another passageway that takes off in any direction from here. I'll turn it back on here in a minute. Okay, here's the bottom of the bottom. I came up from there, if you can see my rope. I mean, I came down from up there. Nothing that I can see that takes off from here. I don't think that goes back very far, but I don't want to crawl back there and see. Looks like there's been some water dripping here, getting a stalagmite. It might form into a stalagmite. Probably dripping right off of that stalactite right there. Flowstone. Oh, there's some water droplets. Yeah, I dare say I'm the first person that's ever been in this cave. Not much of a cave. That's where the wood's coming from. The pack rats are hauling that down in here. Goes nowhere. Nowhere big enough for me anyway. Some cool, whatever you call that, mold. All over those pieces of wood too. Well, I think I'm at the end of, ends right there. Oh, that's kind of cool. What do they call those, soda straws? Careful I don't break those off. Let's see where this goes. Just stumbling over the rocks here. There's a little hole there.
Drops down. He stands right there. Yeah, nothing more to explore it here. I'm gonna head over to the other side there. Up a little ways and over to the left there's another kind of opening area. Wow, that's a steep little bugger. I'm glad I brought this rope. So about halfway back up. Big old slabs of limestone that's fallen off. So up past that boulder right there, there's kind of another spot over on the side that I'm gonna go check out. And I'll turn the camera on when I get up there. But I just wanted to show you this view. So I came down just on the other side of this boulder here. I went down there. There's the bottom down there.
You can do it. Pull on that rock. You need any help?
No. Skinny hole.
Oh, what do you think?
Pretty neat. It gets big down there.
Did you come to the end of it?
Yeah, basically just 45 down to the bottom. And then it's just...
Is it a flat,
it just ends.
flat bottomed crack, kind of?
Yeah. There's some boulders down at the bottom. Some little passages that look like they go somewhere, but they're just dead end.
Yeah. No. Stacks of gold bars. Spanish, dead Spaniards.
Well, if I come back up without you, you'll know why. No evidence of anybody being in there. No tracks. No. Some pack rats have been in there.
Just dirt and limestone. No formations.
There's some stalagmites and stalactites.
Little ones are.
Huh?
Little ones are.
Yeah, they're just little. Some soda straws hanging down. Nothing pretty. Except gray limestone, or pink, or whatever limestone. It's not a real big cave, but it's a cool find. And the blaze, single blaze, so probably Spanish. They're so old on this tree. They're almost completely grown over. The other side is, this one's almost completely grown over. Old tree, old carvings. Here's an interesting symbol. You see these all over the Uintas, mostly on the eastern side. I call them a cat face. This one's kind of hard to see, but you can see
the two eyes on each side of the X, and then the whiskers underneath the eyes. And that S, it's an S on top. It looks kind of like a G, but it's an S. And nobody really knows where they come from, how they got here, who did it. Some think they're Spanish. Some think they're Mexican later after the Spanish. And some blame a guy named Sherrill Atwood. But I kind of doubt that, because he would have been a busy guy. These things are all over the place. So who knows? We'll probably do or show these on some of our other videos, because they're just everywhere. We'll see some more of them. This one's just off the trail here on the Buck Ridge Trail. Sure would like to know what they are. If anybody has any clue, let us know. There's another cat face. That one's in pretty bad shape. I don't know if it's older or just this tree's had a rougher time growing. I didn't notice this on the way in. We're on the way out. And there's another one. My buddy Doug Crofts carved his name on that tree. See the S and the eyes and the whiskers. If I keep my eyes open, I'll probably find some more.